He was the one who moved up. Canelo did not move down. Terence Crawford debuted at super middleweight in what could be the final fight of Canelo's legendary career, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Crawford had a lot to prove because Canelo had challenged his legacy, asking, "Who have you beaten compared to me?" Now, Crawford can say he beat Canelo Alvarez decisively. For most of the fight, Crawford outboxed Canelo at distance and in the pocket. He pressured with combinations, punished with clean potshots, and consistently controlled the rhythm. After the fight, Canelo praised him, saying he was grateful to share the ring with the best in the world. In fact, Canelo even placed Crawford above Floyd Mayweather, calling him the better boxer. Coming from someone of Canelo's stature, that's extraordinary praise. It was also refreshing to see Canelo humble in defeat. He lost all of his belts at his natural weight, yet gave full credit to the man who beat him. This wasn't a case of a smaller fighter dragging Canelo down. Crawford came up to meet him in his own division. Canelo was the bigger man, the favorite, with all the advantages. But Crawford beat him in his own domain. What's even more striking is that Crawford landed the more meaningful power punches. Canelo's reactions to Crawford's cleanest shots told the story, especially in the final 10 seconds. Instead of moving around to secure the win, Crawford stood toe-to-toe with a desperate Canelo, trading power punches. Both landed clean, but Crawford's form, speed, and accuracy made the difference. His left hook stumbled Canelo back toward the ropes, proving he could outbrawl him just as convincingly as he outboxed him. That moment shattered the narrative. Most expected Crawford to stay elusive, sticking, moving, and avoiding Canelo's power at all costs. Instead, he showed he could hold his ground, absorb Canelo's best, and win the exchanges. His fundamentals stayed rock solid: balanced stance, compact punches, efficient defense flowing seamlessly into offense. Canelo, by contrast, swung wide and overcommit, sacrificing balance and speed. Even as fatigue set in, Crawford looked calm, sharp, and focused, almost enjoying himself. He smiled, laughed, and fought with the composure of someone who already knew the outcome. In the pocket, he welcomed exchanges, landing check hooks, sharp uppercuts, and counters with flawless timing. Canelo had his moments: body shots, short hooks, and a few sneaky counters, but Crawford always responded with cleaner, crisper work. The difference in technique was stark. Canelo winged wide punches with maximum power, while Crawford kept everything tight, efficient, and fast.
Speed, accuracy, and discipline beat brute force.
In the end, Crawford showed that he could handle Canelo's pressure, beat him on the inside, and outthink him at range. He took on the bigger man in his own weight class, stood his ground, and delivered an emphatic statement. Not only could he outbox Canelo, he could outfight him on Canelo's terms. As the saying goes, speed kills. By the 9th round, Canelo seemed frustrated, realizing he probably needed a knockout. Trading with Crawford hadn't worked earlier, so he began overswinging, relying more heavily on power. It was risky, but necessary. Canelo threw a wide left hook that missed, glancing off Crawford's upper back. Crawford quickly bladed his stance and fired a perfectly timed left straight down the middle. He followed up by framing with his elbow, pushing Canelo back just enough to line up another shot. Crawford ripped a left uppercut at the same moment Canelo threw a right hook. The difference in form was clear. Canelo's punch was wide and telegraphed, while Crawford's was short, compact, and precise. Crawford's landed first, rotating his body defensively and using his left shoulder to smother Canelo's counter. Canelo kept swinging, throwing looping hooks like he was swimming through the air, leaving his defense wide open. He managed to land around the guard, but Crawford responded with clean counters, including a flush left uppercut followed by a grazing right hook across the temple. Even when Canelo had some success, Crawford's ability to absorb, adjust, and fire back left him in control. When Canelo pressed forward again, Crawford jabbed to halt his momentum, forcing him into a parallel stance. That single jab changed the dynamic. What looked like a big offensive push from Canelo turned into a defensive shell. Recognizing this, Crawford unleashed a flurry of hooks and uppercuts. 2 landed clean, and though one uppercut missed, it gave Canelo a false sense of security. He stepped forward, only to walk straight into a devastating right haymaker from Crawford. Canelo ate it, showing his iron chin, but the shot was as flush as it gets. Crawford stayed disciplined, angling right, avoiding another wild Canelo swing, and countering with sharp, textbook punches. His left hooks and short uppercuts consistently beat Canelo's wider, slower shots. Even when Canelo tried to fire his best darting right hand, Crawford met him with tight counters and inside uppercuts, forcing him into rare moments of retreat. What stood out most was Crawford's composure. Canelo usually thrives in close-range firefights, but Crawford not only matched him there, he outclassed him. He blocked, rolled, and slipped with precision, then punished every mistake. At one point, Canelo even looked shocked that Crawford had landed a clean shot through his rolling defense, almost as if to say, "Damn, this guy really is that good." And that's the story. Terence Crawford proved he's a special boxer, fundamentally flawless, defensively sound, offensively sharp. He moved up in weight, fought Canelo on his terms, and beat him at his own game. Canelo was the power puncher, but Crawford showed he could punch harder, faster, and smarter. He didn't just outbox him, he outfought him.